Hello, folks. This cold night, 22 degrees. Got 1 minute to go, but we can start it off a minute early. Never started it off a minute early, but let's start it off a minute early. Here we go.
Red train, woo! Red train, oh, woo!
Well, hello everybody, welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Saturday, only here on YouTube. We'll be joining the Oldies and More radio crowd beginning at midnight tonight, Eastern Standard Time, so stay tuned for that. Welcome to the February 19th, 2022 Vinyl Treasure Show on this cold evening, 22 degrees and mostly clear. Earlier in the day, it was like sunny, and then all of a sudden, this big snow squall, is that what they call it? It was like blizzard-type conditions for maybe about, 5 or 10 minutes, and then it goes away. Kind of weird weather it was. Then it's all windy and whatnot, so it's crazy weather. So sit back for the next 3 hours, give us a listen to some cool original vinyl 45. Lots of requests tonight, and we opened up tonight with an instrumental. Actually, it's an instrumental request for listener Amnon, bluesman and also guitarist Riff Ruffin and band on Bobby Robinson's Fire record label. It was called Gravy Train. Now, Riff's real name, it was Edward Nehemiah Ruffin, and his first recording was back in Los Angeles, California for the Spark record label. I have that 45, some vocals and some instrumentals for him, of course, but that was back in 1955. This was actually April 1960 release on the Fire label, Riff Ruffin and Band, song entitled Gravy Train. We'll hop aboard the Vinyl Treasure Gravy Train for some cool 45s tonight. We're going to open up tonight out of New Haven, Connecticut. It's the debut single for this group on the Anko record label, and this song is actually a cover. It's a cover of a tune the G-Clefs originally recorded back in 1956 for the Pilgrim label. This is from January 58. The opener is by the Academics, Ronnie Maroney, Ramone, I don't know how you say it, but he's on lead. These are the Academics on the Anko record label with their rendition of the tune, Darla, My Darling. January 1958 release there, the debut single for the Academics. They're out of New Haven, Connecticut. That's on the Anko record label. That's actually the second label for that. Darla, My Darling, that's the G-Clef's tune. Originally, that label, when that came out, that was Anchor Records, and there was already an Anchor label existing, so they had to change it to Anko, A-N-C-H-O. The sound quality, I think, isn't the greatest. I mean, on both of the on both of the releases, really, but that's their first release. I think the other one is a good one too. What is it? Too Good to Be True. Too Good to Be True. That's a great record they do also. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening, spinning original vinyl 45s from the 1950s and early 60s. Here's a flip side from last week as I featured the Cookies on the Josie label. The song was called King of Hearts. They were backed up by the Cadillacs, and they're also backed up by them on the flip side. Again, this side written by two group members of the Cookies, Margie Hendricks and Darlene McRae. This is with Jesse Powell and the orchestra. It was the Cadillacs that got them to get this release on the Josie label, July 1957. These are the Cookies on the Josie label. It's called Hippy Dippy Daddy. Those are the Cookies. The Cookies being backed up by the Cadillacs on the Josie record label. July 1957 release, Hippy Dippy Daddy is the name of the tune. Johnny G's your Hippy Dippy Daddy every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. right here on YouTube and also on Oldies and More Radio. Thank you all for tuning in. Tell your friends to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the bell to get email notifications on when Johnny G goes live. And we are continuing here. We count down the music chronologically here on the 50s and early 60s edition. And those of you that like the real early vocal group harmony sound, well, here's a group you're going to like from Baltimore, Maryland. And this is actually a request for listener Tom Shaughnessy. This is their second release for Jerry Blaine's Jubilee Records now. And I have to apologize in advance for this small heat warp. Now, the person, I bought this record from Jerry Smith at the Waterbury, Connecticut show. He said, Johnny, this is a rare record, but if you want it, and because you've done business with me in the past, you can have it for $30. So he sold me this record for $30. I mean, I mean, I haven't seen another 45 of this. It's really hard. I have a 78. I have a nice 78, but I figure I'd feature the 45 here. But it gets better as it goes. But in the beginning, you're going to hear a little bit. It's a quiet record, too. But it features Louis Buster Banks on lead. We go back to August 1952. This is going out to Tom Shaughnessy. These are the Marylanders. The Marylanders on the Jubilee record label. It's called Please Love Me.
Love me and make it forever, ever, and kiss me, oh kiss me, and soothe away my care, soothe away my care. I knew from the start you'd break my heart,
oh darling, in spite of it, I could always see
possibilities for you and for me. So please love me, brush those teardrops from my burning eyes, and make me realize there is still a chance for me. I knew from the start you would break my heart,
oh darling, in spite of it, I could always see
possibilities for you and for me. So please love me, brush those teardrops from my burning eyes, and make me realize there is still a chance for me. There is still a chance for me.
That's with heat warp and all. That's unfortunately what happens if you find these records at a garage sale. Some people, they're in little boxes and the sun comes out in the morning when you're setting up and it hits the top of the 45s and they start to curl. That's what happens. That is not a good thing. You do not put your 45s out in the sun if you're selling them at garage sales. You definitely don't do that, but unfortunately. But anyway, those are the Marylanders, August 1952. That's on the Jubilee record label. Please Love Me. That's going out to Tom Shaughnessy. That's a real early side. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and this is a request for listener Emnon. Now, I know that it was Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley had a national #2 hit with this song, but the tune was first recorded back in 1952 for RCA Records by Hank Snow. He had the original version of this song, but it was covered by so many people through the years, and the Robins do a nice rendition of it. Actually, it was their first release for the RCA record label. They had 6 releases on RCA. This was the first. Now, the vocals on this are the bass, Bobby Nunn, and then tenor Grady Chapman. They come in. This is by request for Emnon, February 1953. These are the Robins on RCA with their rendition of the tune Now and Then, theirs in parentheses, A Fool Such As I. Wait, we can't do that. Hold on. Come on. Come on here.
be angry with me? Should I cry?
Should I cry?
When you're gone, yet I'll dream a little dream as you go by. Now and then there's a fool such as I.
Such as I. Now and then there's a fool such as I am over you. You taught me how to love, and now you say we are through.
I'm a fool, but I'll love you, dear, until the day I die. Now and then there's a fool such as I.
Such as I.
I'm a fool, but I'll love you, dear, until the day I die. Now and then there's a fool such as I.
Such as I.
There's a fool.
Such as I.
Those are the great Robins. The Robins there from 1953, February 53, with their version of the tune Now and Then There's a Fool Such as I. Bobby Nunn, Grady Chapman there, the Robins on the RCA record label. Stay tuned next week for the flip sides here as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasures Show. Now we go to Harlem, New York for this next group. They're mainly known for their ballads, although I think a few early jumps they did were great in my opinion, and this is one of them. It's on Monty Bruce's Bruce record label. This is their 6th of 8 for the Bruce label. It's with Herman Bradley and his orchestra, and with the great Willie Winfield on lead. I found this copy in Elmsford, New York. I used to go garage hunting for 45's, and I got there one early morning in Elmsford, and there was a box of records. They were all a nickel a piece. It's fun to find records like this for a nickel, and this clean too. But anyway, November 1954, these are the harp tones on the Bruce record label. This is the intended B-side. It's called Oobity Oobity Ooh, the harp tones.
Oobity oobity oo, I fell in love today. Oobity oobity oo, you stole my heart away. Now I know that you're the one for me. Oobity 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 ah, oobity oobity oo, because you thrill me so. Oobity oobity oo, I'll never let you go. That's how much I love you. Can't you see? When you're out with me, baby, you make me feel so proud. When you're holding me, baby,
I'm up in a club.
oobity oobity oo, your kiss is such a treat. Oobity oobity oo, you make my life complete. Now I know that you're the one for me. such a treat. Oobity oobity oo, you make my life complete. Now I know that you're the one for me. Oobity 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 doo, you're the one for me.
Those are the harp tones. The harp tones with a jump. I mean, we're so used to their ballads, but they can do definitely have some cool jumps like that one there. I like that record. Harp tones there, November 1954. Willie Winfield on lead on the Bruce record label. Oobity Oobity Ooh is the name of the tune. Let's continue here. We are, let's go actually back 1 year. You know how Johnny G tries to mix it up here with the tempos, but this is a request for listener Daniel Kubacki, and we head to the Bronx, New York for this next group. They initially met Joe Davis when he was working for MGM Records, hence their early releases on MGM, 2 releases on MGM, but then when Davis left to form JD Records, they followed. Now, Daniel requested their second release on the JD label, and it came out in September of 1953, and I'm talking about the Crickets, Dean Barlow and the Crickets, because he's on lead here. This one from September 53, JD Records, Gene Barlow on lead. Give a listen to the Crickets. This is for Daniel. It's called I'm Not the One You Love.
I hate to leave you, baby, but the best of friends must part. And though I'm leaving, baby, you'll still be in my heart. But it's so plain to see that I'm not the one you love. I tried to please you, baby, but you couldn't be satisfied. Although to please you, baby, I sacrificed my pride. But it's so plain to see that I'm not the one you love. But we can still see each other and discuss the latest topics of the day.
But if you should find another, there's nothing that I could say.
Well, congratulations, baby, and I wish you happiness. And please believe me, baby, I tried to do my best, but it's so plain to see that I'm not the one you love.
As by request for Daniel Kubacki there, those are the Crickets, Dean Barlow and the Crickets. That's their second release on the JD record label, September 1953. I'm Not the One You Love is the name of the tune. Let's continue now. We move into 1955. This female R&B singer has this one release on Murray Katz's Treat record label out of New York City. Now, for you collectors out there, you know what's on the Treat label, some great group stuff by, the Five Diamonds. Who else is on there? The Inspirators. I'm here cheating on my book here. The five Diamonds, the Inspirators, the 5 Stars, but there is someone backing this gal up on this 45. Her name is Terry Lee, Terrilee, Terry Lee. This is on the Treat record label. This is from May 1955. It's not really a full group, but the tune was written by Willis Carroll and Carmen Taylor. And this is with the Reg Ashby Orchestra. Let's give it a spin here. May 1955, Terry Lee on Treat. It's called I'm No Good to You.
Don't cry 'cause I'm leaving. Don't make believe you care. I once thought we'd be happy. We'd live and love and share. But you don't want me, baby.
Oh, brother,
Oh, you don't want me, baby.
don't say that, baby.
No, you don't want me, baby. I'm no good to you. You talk bad about me, scandalize my name. I'm taking all the clothes I bought you, and I'm setting them all aflame. 'Cause you don't want me, baby.
Don't say that,
Oh, you
baby.
don't want me, baby.
Oh, brother,
No, you don't want me, baby. I'm no good to you. Don't cry, please don't beg me. Don't try to make me stay. I know you never loved me. That's why I'm going away. Now you don't want me, baby.
Don't go away,
Oh, you
baby.
don't want me, baby.
Please stay with
No,
me.
you don't want me, baby. I'm no good to you.
There you go. That's Terry Lee, and some bass guy in the background there. That could be from one of the vocal groups that recorded for the Treat record label, May 1955. A song entitled I'm No Good to You is the name of the tune. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured Lillian Leach and the Mellows. Actually, in the last couple of weeks, played both sides of their fourth release. On the JD record label, Lovable Lily, and yesterday's Memories was listener Richard Fox, and fellow Oldies and More disc jockey requested their debut single. This was their first of 4 that came out on Joe Davis's JD record label. It was written by the second tenor for the group. His name is Harold Johnson, but it features Lillian Leach on lead. This is going out to Richard Fox, August 1954, The Mellows on JD. It's called How Sentimental Can I Be?
I'm not the one to hide my feelings, to run away and cry. I stay in crowds, laughing out loud. Friends question my false gaiety. Since you've been away, how sentimental can I be? Can I be? I go to town, watching all clouds. They all laugh back at me. Since you've been away, how sentimental
your face.
My darling, I need someone new. I'm lost without you. You hold my love, my destiny. Since you've been away, how sentimental can I be?
That's by request for Richard Fox. Those are the Mellows, Lillian Leach and the Mellows. That's their debut single from August 1954. Joe Davis's JD record label, How Sentimental Can I Be? What a great question to ask, that is for sure. I have that on a one-sided acetate 78, which is interesting. A nice mint copy of that. I dare not play it. Or maybe I'll play it when I do a 78 show. But it is, there's a little bit of hiss on some of these JD records, as you know. I'm going to have another one coming up that I have to play it with a 78 needle. It sounds much better. But they're noisy for some reason, how they recorded them and pressed them. It's unfortunate. But let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are in 1955. Now, last week, I played a request for George Tompkins by the Starlighters, a group out of Los Angeles, California, on Jake Porter's Combo label. The song was called Arlene, or Arline, on how it's spelled on the label, but Daryl Letts requested the flip side, and I had it on it's hard to find it on the shiny red label, and I think more copies sold in Slim's store on the purple label when they reissued it on the combo label, but it's not that easy to find the original on the red combo. It's with the Jonesy combo. They're providing the instrumentation. This is from August 55. This is going out to Daryl Letts, the Starlighters on combo. It's called Sweet Sue.
Sweet soup, sweet soup, sweet soup, sweet soup, sweet soup.
Well, I met a little girl just the other day. I asked her what her name, and this is what she said. She said, my name is Sue. Now what you gonna do? She said, my name is Sue. Now what you gonna do? I'm gonna take her to my house, give my ice cream and candy too. Well, her eyes were big, skin was smooth. I started to touch her, she began to move. I says, baby, baby, don't be scared. I just wanna run my fingers through your head, sweet Sue. Now what you gonna do? Sweet Sue, now what you gonna do? I'm gonna take you to my house, give my ice cream and candy too.
What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
So I asked for a ride in my brand new car. She says, daddy, 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 don't ride too far, sweet Sue. Now what you gonna do? Sweet Sue, now what you gonna do? I'm gonna take you to my house, give my ice cream and candy too. So I took her for a ride over in the city. The way the car rode, it was a doggone pity. She liked the streets and she liked the lights. She says, daddy, 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 let's ride all night, sweet Sue. Now what you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Sweet soup.
What you gonna do?
Sweet soup.
What you gonna do?
I think that's actually the A-side, if I'm not mistaken. I was going to say B-sides, no. But anyway, Starlighters there. That's going out to Darrell Letts, August 1955. It's on the combo record label. Sweet Sue is the name of the tune. Let's stay in 1955 here for this next group that formed while they were stationed in Germany, and they were later based out of Chicago, Illinois. They had 3 releases on Vivian Carter's VJ record label, and it was George Tompkins that requested their second release, and it features Billy Stewart. He's on lead. This one from May 1955. Give a listen to the Rhythm Aces. The Rhythm Aces on VJ Records. This is going out to George Tompkins. The song is called Whisper to Me.
Whisper, whisper, whisper. Whisper to me, sweet and low. Tell me you love me so.
Come a little closer, let me feel your touch. Whisper to me, say that you love me so much. Ooh, baby, baby, please.
Whisper to me, whisper, whisper, whisper. Sweet are the words I long to hear. Tell me sincerely,
You've been mine so long, we'll never part. See that I'll remain ever, ever in your heart. Ooh, baby, baby, please.
whisper to me.
While we're here alone, it seems like paradise. How long the moon has shone, I see it in your
Whisper to me, sweet and low. Tell me you love me so.
Say sweet words to me, I love to hear. Say that you're mine. Tell me sincerely. Ooh, baby, baby, please.
Whisper to me, whisper, whisper to me.
That's going out to George Tompkins there. Those are the Rhythm Aces. May 1955. Whisper to Me is the name of the tune. Vivian Carter's VJ record label. Billy Stewart, I think he was the lead on that. Charlene had to double check that. I'm not sure. But anyway, if it was, Billy Stewart would later form a group called the Rockets, also recorded as the Rocketeers and the Magic Notes and the Planets. As all these groups are all intertwined. It's kind of odd, really. You can write, it's really tough to somehow, you could write a book, and people have written books on this, but it's sometimes very confusing. I know it's confusing for Charlene, that is a fact. As we continue here, for some reason, and I'm looking at this record, it's clean. This record is it's odd because it didn't it just sometimes it depends where the record is pressed. If it's pressed in the beginning or it's pressed at the end, sometimes had some defect or whatever, but it had like a whistle in the beginning there, which is kind of odd. So I don't know what was up with that 45. But anyway, let's continue here. Nick, I agree. Probably the Red Wax did play better. I bet you that, because those Red Waxes, those early VJs, they were DJ copies. That's what you want to get if you collect VJ records, those early Red Wax copies. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week I featured Otis Williams and his new group on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show. Actually, a request for George. Save Me was the side I played. That was the group's 14th release on Sid Nathan's deluxe label, and listener Ken McKenna, a new listener, or at least that I found out a new listener to the program, he requested the flip side, which was actually a regional hit for them. It was a #1 record on WJR and WELX out of Detroit, Michigan. So this one from May 55, we're going to send it out to Ken McKenna, listener Ken McKenna, Otis Williams and his Charms on Deluxe Records, and their tune called Gumdrop.
In a candy shop around the corner, that little girl, she's a goner. I looked at her, she looked at me. I stole a kiss and ooh-wee, my heart started beating. Chop, 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 chop. Lips kept repeat. Gumdrop, gumdrop. Claims she looks so fine, makes me know she's mine. Gumdrop, gumdrop. Oh, 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 oh. Gumdrop, gumdrop. So good, down to the last drop. She's my sugar and spice. Gumdrop, gumdrop. Everything nice. Gumdrop, gumdrop. She's my peaches and cream. Gumdrop, gumdrop. Candyman's dream. Gumdrop, gumdrop. She puts me on a cloud, makes me holler out loud. Gumdrop, gumdrop. Oh, 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 oh. Gumdrop, gumdrop. Oh, 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 oh. Gumdrop, gumdrop. So good, down to the last drop. About the money I spend for the presents I buy. She just wants the honey and keeps me there beside her. Oh, 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 oh. Gumdrop, gumdrop. Oh, 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 oh. Gumdrop, gumdrop. So good, down to the last drop. Gumdrop, gumdrop. Gumdrop, gumdrop, gumdrop.
As by request for Ken McKenna there, May 1955 release, Otis Williams and his new group on that one. On Deluxe Records, Gumdrop is the name of the tune. Jerome, please feel better. I just got your text there, and I'm sorry to hear you are not feeling well, so please feel better. Be very careful as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, last week, I played a song for Valentine's Day by the Valentines on George Goldner's Rama record label. It's the group's second release on Rama Records. It was I Love You, Darling. That was a 45 that my aunt purchased back in the fall of 1955, but she played both sides of her 45s, and I couldn't file this one back unless we heard the flip side. And Richard Barrett, the great Richard Barrett, is on lead. This is with Jimmy Wright and his orchestra, November 1955. These are the Valentines, the Valentines on Rama. It's called Hand Me Down Love.
Hand me down love. I don't want no hand me down love. I just want a real kind of love that is mine from the start. Hand me down love. I don't need no hand me down love. I just want a true kind of love that comes straight from your heart. I've been searching and praying that someday I'd find somebody who would adore me and love me. And then I ran into you, just you alone. What a love that I've never known, like the kind that I'm dreaming of, and not a hand-me-down love. Straight from your
Those are the great Valentines there. They like that one there in the YouTube chat room. What a great record that is. Both sides of that 45. I don't know, it's just Jimmy Wright and his orchestra, November 1955, the Valentines there, Richard Barrett and the Valentines on Rama, Hand Me Down Love. Lots of these 45s are Hand Me Down 45s. Well, I don't know, maybe this next one, because it looks like it was played a bit, but I think Alan Freed played this next 45. And earlier in the show, we heard from this singer as the lead singer of the Crickets on the JD record label from September 53. The song was called I'm Not the One You Love. He returns here with a solo release and a request for listener Richard Fox in our YouTube chat room. Actually, this is his debut solo release, also on Joe Davis's JD record label. And you saw Johnny G fiddling with the 78 needle there because it sounds better with a 78 stylus, that is for sure. But this one from February 55, this is going out to Richard Fox, Dean Barlow on JD Records. It's called I'll String Along With You. This is for Rich.
You may not be an angel, 'cause angels are so few. But until the day that one comes along, I'll string along with you. I'm looking for an angel to sing my love song to. And until the day that one comes along, I'll sing my song to you. For every little fault that you have, say I've got 3 or 4. The human little faults you do have just make me love you more. You may not be an angel, but still I'm sure you'll do. So until the day that one comes along, I'll string along with you. Well, little thought that you have, say I've got 3 or 4. The human little fault you do have, just make me love you more. You may not be an angel, but still I'm sure you'll do. So until the day that one comes along, I'll string along with you. I'll string along with you.
That's going out to Richard Fox, fellow Oldies and More radio disc jockey. Richard, you're on, is it Tuesday? Please type it in JohnnyG's chat room when you are on Oldies and More radio. We always do that. You should do that, Richard. And that is a cool tune. That one's a record played by Alan Freed. I think there's an air check from early 1955 where he is playing that record, pretty sure. February 55, Dean Barlow on the JD record label, I'll String Along With You. And we move into 1956 now as we head to Washington, D.C. for this next group, and it's a request for Nick Nicola. This group signed with Mercury Records back in 1955 for 3 releases. Then they had one more release on the Mercury subsidiary Wing Records, and this features William Ross on lead. This is going out to Nick. Yes, George likes it too, because he was probably the last one to request this. These are the Griffins from March 1956 on the Wing record label. It's called Forevermore.
Time you know I love you.
Those are the Griffins by request for Nick Nicola there, March 1956. It's on the Wing record label. Forevermore is the name of the tune. William Ross, he's the lead singer. And I think they also backed up Marie Knight. She does a couple of records, maybe 3 records on Mercury that are pretty nice. She does. Let's backtrack a little bit for my buddy Richard Fox, fellow disc jockey. He is on oldiesandmoreradio.com on Monday and Thursday from 2 to 5 p.m. and he's also on Tuesday mornings from 8 to 10 a.m. So please check out my fellow disc jockey on Oldies and More Radio, Richard Fox, and his show. Let's continue now on the Vinyl Treasure Show as we go to Buffalo, New York. Yes, George, this is your request. We go to Buffalo, New York for this next request. It's for George Tompkins. It's on Herb Dexter's Beach record label, B-E-E-C-H, Beach label. The group is called the Vibra Harps, and the lead singer on this, his name is Danny Cannon. And Danny Cannon would later on record as Lenny O'Henry. Has some 45s by Lenny O'Henry on Atco and I think on Smash and maybe ABC Paramount if I'm not mistaken. But this record would chart. This was number 19 on WVDA in Boston, Massachusetts. We go back to August 1956. These are the Vibra Harps. The Vibra Harps on Beach, going out to George Tompkins. It's called Cozy with Rosie.
Shoot, shooby-dooby-doo, shooby-doo-wah-wah. Shoot, shooby-dooby-doo, shooby-doo-wah-wah. Shoot, shooby-dooby-doo, shooby-doo-wah-wah.
The moon is shining, the stars are bright. I never saw such a beautiful night. I'm happy, so happy. I'm happy 'cause I'm cozy with Rosie tonight. Hold me close, hold me tight. I'm happy 'cause I'm cozy with Rosie tonight. Oh, what a night this really was, such a night. Only you and I beneath God's heavenly light. Really was such a night. Only you and I beneath God's heavenly light. Beneath God's heavenly light.
They're called the Vibra Harps. The Vibra Harps there, Danny Cannon on lead. August 1956 release. It's on the Beach record label. Cozy with Rosie is the name of the tune. That's another two-sided 45, and George did request the flip side for that, so stay tuned for that on next Saturday night show. Let's move on here on the Vinyl Treasure Show as we move into 1957. Now we go back to New Haven, Connecticut. This group features a female lead with male backing. Now the male backing, this is the first of 2 releases that came out on, well, actually I should say her first 2 releases, or this group's first 2 releases, came out on the Joe Davis's Davis record label. They were called Love Is True, I think, and Forever I Vow, but they left Joe Davis to sign with Marty Kugel's Standard record label. The result was this 45, written by the lead singer. Her name is Ruby Whitaker. Ruby Whitaker on lead here. We go back to February 1957. Give a listen to the Chestnuts. The Chestnuts on Standard. It's called Who Knows Better Than I.
A beautiful love affair. Everyone says
Those are the Chestnuts there. Ruby Whittaker on lead in the Chestnuts there. What a great tune that is. On the Standard record label, Who Knows Better Than I, February 1957 release. And that is the first press. It says the Chestnuts. Second press, I was showing off Ryan Heisey. I was showing off the second release with Ruby Whittaker and the Chestnuts. But that one plays pretty nice. It's not that easy to find these records by the Chestnuts, really, especially in clean condition, as this one plays better than that other one. They do another one. Is it I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire? Is that the one? I have that record. I'll have to pull that out. That's another great record they do. I just like that sound, kind of like an echo, really, in the background there. It's just a cool record, I think. I hope you dug that tune as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Now, on last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, played a request for listener Daniel Kubacki. He requested the Vinos. The Vinos, they were from the Penn Hills, Pennsylvania, featured their second overall release on the RCA subsidiary Vic label, was called My Heart Beats Faster. I was going to play the flip side of that, but then Daniel came up with another request for this group. Now, Daniel requested their debut single, which came out on another RCA subsidiary. It was called Groove Records. Now, this one was written by the lead singer. His name is Leon Daniels. Now, this charted regionally. This was a number 3 record on WILY in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we're going to send this one out to Daniel. September 1956, the Vinos on Groove Records. The song is called Geraldine.
Ba 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 doody body wah, 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 oh 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 oh, doody body wah, ba doody body wah. Geraldine, be my queen. Geraldine, won't you be my queen? For this, my darling, I will be your king. Oh, I love you so. Don't you know? I love you so. Don't you know? And I never want to let you go. Geraldine, won't you be my queen? For this, my darling, I will be your king. Oh, I need your love so bad. I need your love so bad. 'Cause that's the best love that I've ever had. Oh, oh, Geraldine. Oh, oh, Geraldine. Oh, oh, Geraldine. Oh, oh, Geraldine.
As by request for Daniel Kubacki, those are the Vinos. Vinos there with Leon Daniels on lead, September 1956 release on the Groove record label. Geraldine is the name of the tune. Now, for you collectors out there, the true first press of that is on the real tiny small print, which I wish I had my other. That's how I featured it. I'll show it to you again. The group title is really small. That is the true first press. Don't ask me why that happened, because then maybe later on the record took off and they issued it with bigger print. I don't know, but that's what I understand. Johnny G babbling on here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're digging on the cool tunes here. We are in the year 1956. Let's head out to California for this one, and this is a request for a happy Los Angeles Rams listener Johnny G and Rich, we are not happy, but you know what? There's always next year. The Bengals were never supposed to make it that far. But anyway, this is a request for a happy Los Angeles Rams listener. His name is Robert Castillo. He is a big Rams fan. He told me he always was. But you know what? I'm glad that they won, because either team would have deserved that win, in my opinion. But anyway, this group formed while attending McClydman's High School in Oakland, California, and they were named after a line from the song Danny Boy. If you think about that song Danny Boy, it says the Pipes are calling. So when they heard that, they said, hey, let's call ourselves the Pipes. That's according to Marv Goldberg, or according to that California book. But anyway, so don't quote me. But they had 2 releases on Dootsy Williams' Dutone record label. Now, Robert requested their first, and the song was written by the lead singer, actually the baritone of the group. His name is Huey Roundtree, and he's also doing lead. There you go. So we're going to send this one out to Robert, February 56. These are the Pipes on Dutone, and their tune called Be Fair.
Fair, darling, please be fair. Won't you give me half a chance to prove my romance? Be fair, darling, please be true, 'cause I'm still in love with you. So please be fair. Just give me a chance to start anew. Darling, let me prove my love to you. I'll always love you. I'll always be true. Tell me, what can I do? Be fair. Darling, please be true. There is nothing else that I can do. So please be fair. Give me a chance to start anew. Darling, let me prove my love to you. I can't go on being all alone. Darling, don't do me wrong. Be fair. Darling, please, please be true. Tell me that you love me too. So please be fair. Darling, be fair. Darling, be fair to me.
Sound of California here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Pipes, going out to Robert Castillo. The Pipes there, February 1956, the first of 2 on Dootsy Williams' Dutone record label. Be Fair is the name of that tune. We continue here on Vinyl Treasures, and last week I featured Henry Alston, a.k.a. Henry Austin, and the Hurricanes, their third release. On Sid Nathan's King record label, it was called Yours. We actually compared it to that Matey Campboy request by Charles Baker on Fury, Darling, Here You Are. And that was from 1961. The voices sounded very familiar, and possibly Charles Baker is really Henry Austin. But either way, I couldn't file the 45 back on the King label without spinning the flip side. And we're going to send this one out to George Tompkins because I know he likes the Hurricanes. January 1956, the Hurricanes on King. It's called Maybe It's All for the Best. This is for George.
Darling, I hate to see you go. You've always been my love, you know. I'll miss you so the tears will flow, I guess, but maybe it's all for the best. Oh yes, my heart may cry and say nay, nay. My soul may long for yesterday. Darling, no matter how my heart regrets, maybe it's all for the best. I have my memories of you, no matter where you are. This heart of mine that once loved you will always bear the scar. Someday we'll try again, I know. Kiss me goodbye, then let me go. Darling, don't cry, let's you and I confess that maybe it's all for the best. Maybe it's all for the best.
Those are the Hurricanes. Hurricanes, Henry Alston, a.k.a. Henry Austin, and the Hurricanes, January 1956. It's on the King record label, Sid Nathan's King Records. Maybe It's All for the Best is the name of the tune. We move on here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go into 1957 now last week's show. I played a request for Amnon. He requested the Uniques, a group out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, their first of two on Don Roby's Peacock record label. The side he requested was called Somewhere. Now, Amnon also requested the flip, and I'm also going to send this one out to Mike P. And he liked this record. He told me it was he liked this 45, and I'm putting records on his want list. Well, that's what Johnny G wants to do. We want you all to be exposed to all these cool records and put it on your want list. If you collect the 45, you can collect the MP3, you can collect the CD. It doesn't matter to me, but it's a way of keeping this music alive. So that's what I'm doing. But anyway, let's give a listen to the flip side here. Earl King, he co-wrote it, and he's on lead. This one from May 1957, the Uniques on Peacock. This is going out to Mike and Amnon. It's called Right Now.
There's so many women. There's the big ones and the small. But there's a certain girl I know that really tops them all. Oh, yes, I want her, I need her, gotta have her loving right now. Right now, right now, right now. And when I get my arms around her, I'm never gonna leave her right now. Right now, right now, right now. There's so many women that you can get lost in a time, but only this little girl I want so bad, share this love of mine. Yes, I want her, I need her, gotta have her loving right now. Right now, right now, right now. When I get my arms around her, I'm never gonna leave her right now. Right now, right now, right now. So baby, please tell me, or will you let my love grow cold? Or will you take the time and please be mine, come satisfy my soul? Well, yes, I want her, I need her, gotta have her loving right now. Right now, right now, right now. When I get my arms around her, I'm never gonna leave her right now. Right now, right now, right now. I'll never leave you. Be my baby. I'll never grieve you. Be my baby. I'll always please you. Be my baby. I want to see you. Be my baby. Be my baby right now. Right now, right now, right now. Yeah, so be my baby. Yeah. I'll never leave you. So be my baby. Oh, yeah. Be my baby. One more time. Be my baby. I want to see you. Be my baby. Be my baby right now. Right now, right now, right now.
May 1957 release there. They're called the Uniques, Earl King and the Uniques on the Peacock record label. It's going out to Mike P. and Amnon. The song entitled Right Now. Let's continue here. And I really love this next tune here, and it's a request for listener Tom Shaughnessy, and the group is out of California, but it's on a Chicago label, the Bally label. Now, the song is written by West Coast record mogul George Mottola, and I have no info on this group, unfortunately, but the group is called the Argyles, and it's a wonderful tune. This is for Tom Shaughnessy, March 1957, the Argyles on the Bally label. It's called Moonbeam.
my lover be? Tell me where can she be?
They're called the Argyles. The Argyles on the Bally record label out of Chicago, Illinois, March 1957. Song entitled Moonbeam, that's going out to Tom Shaughnessy, that California-Chicago connection there, as there are with a number of groups. The Turks also is another group there. But anyway, that is a cool tune, I have to say. Let's continue now. And we are in 1957, and on last week's Vinyltreasure show, it featured Paul Himmelstein and the Heartbreakers for a listener, Timothy. Timothy requested their debut single on the RCA subsidiary Vic label. It was called Without a Cause, but I also like the flip side, and it's a tune written by a singer-songwriter, Shirley Elliston, a.k.a. Shirley Ellis. Now, she would have a big hit in 1965 called The Name Game on the Congress label, but she wrote a number of excellent songs for a number of vocal groups back in the late 1950s, and this is the first of two for the Heartbreakers from February 1957. Paul Himmelstein on lead, Vic Records. It's called 1-2, I Love You.
I'll give you 10 to say you'll be mine again. 1, 2, I love you, you know I do. I really do. 3, 4, don't close the door to your heart. To your heart, to your heart. 5, 6, I'm gonna fix the whole now romance. 7, 8, let's get straight. Give me a chance. 9, please be kind. I can't get you out of my mind. 10, I won't say 10. I'll have to start all over again. 1, 2, I love you, you know I do. I really do. 3, 4, don't close the door to your heart. To your heart, to your heart. 5, 6, I'm gonna fix the whole now romance. 7, 8, let's get straight. Give me a chance. 9, please be kind. I can't get you out of my mind. 10, I won't say 10. I'll have to start all over again. 1, 2, I love you, you know I do. I really do. 3, 4, don't close the door to your heart. To your heart, to your heart. 5, 6, I'm gonna fix the whole now romance. 7, 8, let's get straight. Give me a chance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I won't say 10. I won't say 10. I'll start over again.
February 1957 release there for the Heartbreakers, Paul Himmelstein and the Heartbreakers there on the Vic record label. 1-2, I Love You. That's their first of two on the Vic label. We continue now back to Brooklyn, New York. We go. This is a request for Robert Castillo, the first of two on Bobby Robinson's Fury record label for the Federals. Federals, a.k.a. The Wheels, who previously recorded for the Premium record label, but later they changed their name to the Federals. And by the way, they would go back to the Wheels later on. But anyway, this is from July 1957. It features Rudy Anderson on lead. This is going out to Robert, the Federals, from July 1957 on the Fury label. It's called While Our Hearts Are Young.
While our hearts are young, and all that dreams are new, say you'll take the love I'm offering you. While our hearts are young, let's learn the secrets of a way to build a true and lasting love. Give me the kiss that will make you mine from this day on till the end of time. While our hearts are young, darling, I made this vow to make your dreams come true. Some ways, somehow. While our hearts are young, darling, I made this vow to make your dreams come true. Someday, somehow, some way, somehow.
That's going out to Robert there, the Federals, Rudy Anderson and the Federals, July 1957. On Bobby Robinson's Fury record label, While Our Hearts Are Young. What a great tune that is, and not that easy to find, really. And but the Federals, the Wheels, a great group. I got more for them coming up on future Vinyl Treasure shows. We continue now. Now, last week's show, I played a request for listener Nat Papagallo. He requested the Vibes, not the group out of California that also recorded as the Jayhawks. This Vibes group is out of New York, and the side he requested was Comeback Baby. Was listeners George Tompkins, and I think maybe Daryl also asked if I could play the flip side. So let's go back to March of 1957, give a listen to the Vibes on the ABC Paramount record label, and it's called Darling. These are the Vibes.
Well, darling, oh yes, you know that I love you so, and that I'll never let you go. Tell me that you love me too. I will love you till I die. see. I'm down on bending knees. Well, darling, yes, well, I will love you till I die. Oh, yes, you know, I love you so well, darling. Well, I will love you till I die. Won't you please say you love me? Tell me that you love me too.
Great tune that is by the Vibes, March 1957. On the ABC Paramount record label, Darling is the name of the tune. It's going out to George Tompkins as we continue. Here we are in 1957. We head to Columbus, Ohio for this next group. It's on the VJ subsidiary label, Falcon Records. It then changed to Abner after some litigation from another label, but this is the B-side of their debut single of this group with Al Smith and his orchestra, co-written by the lead singer. His name is Paul Jackson. He's on lead. I love both sides, but I love this ballad side here, as this group would later on record as the Lyrics on the VJ record label. But prior to that, they were known as the Falcons. November 1957. Give a listen to the Falcons on the Falcon label. It's called Now That It's Over.
Oh, 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 now that it's over, I still need you, need you, need you. Now that it's over, I still want you, want you. You say goodbye and made me cry, made me cry. You made me cry. Now that you've gone, I still miss you, miss you. Yes, I still miss that. Miss you, miss you, miss you. Gave to me. Darling, I think that is better. Now that we've said goodbye, that's why I'm writing a letter. Oh, you know the reason why. Now that it's over, I still love you, love you. That's why this letter that I send you in good faith. Now that is the always be
November 1957 there. Those are the Falcons. Paul Jackson and the Falcons there, November 1957 on Falcon Records. Now that it's over, this group would all later on become the Lyrics on the VJ record label. And it's not over, not yet. No, don't go. Not yet. Tell your friends about the Vinyl Treasure Show. If you're new, please subscribe to Vinyl Treasures here on my YouTube page. At 12 o'clock, we'll be ushering in the Oldies and More radio crowd, so stay tuned for that as we continue here. We move into 1958. We head back to the West Coast here with a request for Daniel Kubacki on Art Roop's Specialty record label, and this group out of Los Angeles, California, first recording for Vita Records. Then they moved to Specialty. Now, this was their fourth and final release for the Specialty folks. Features Sam Barnett on lead. We go back to April 58. These are the Titans. The Titans going out to Daniel on the Specialty label. It's called Love is a Wonderful Thing.
Feel the same. Well, love is a wonderful thing. Love can bring two hearts together again. Love can make two people like you and me forget all the troubles and the misery. Love can bring two hearts like yours and mine together again. Love is a wonderful thing. Love can make two people feel the same. Troubles and the misery. Love can bring two hearts like yours and mine together again. I want to know our love is a wonderful thing. Love can make two people feel the same. Well, love, ooh, love, ooh, love.
As going out to Daniel Kubacki, those are the Titans. Titans on the Specialty label out of Los Angeles, California, April 1958 release. Sam Barnett on lead. Love is a Wonderful Thing. Yes, it is, if you have it in your life, as we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. And let's stay out on the West Coast with a request for listener Joe Shacatano having computer problems tonight, which is why he's not in the chat room. Well, anyway, that's at least so, Joe, at least you're feeling okay. That is a good computer problems. That thank God for the archive, he said to Johnny G. Unless he's watching, so he may be, and we don't know. But anyway, Joe requested a group called The Wonders now, and it's another tune that's penned by record mogul George Mottola, and this first came out initially on the Forward record label as The Wonders, and it was quickly issued on the Tampa label. And I was showing Ryan the Tampa release, and on the Tampa release it came out as Tony Allen. He gets billing because he's the lead singer, and of course they know who Tony Allen is. Maybe they didn't know who the Wonders were, but then they re-released it as Tony Allen and the Wonders, and I showed you the two scans of the labels there, but I decided to play the Forward release. And the interesting thing is that they're both Monarch presses, and they both have the same stampers, exactly the same deltas, and exactly the same matrix numbers. So I don't know what happened with that. But anyway, there is a Q burn on this copy, not on my Tampa. That's a tad better shape. Doesn't have that Q burn, though. But anyway, this is for Joe Shacatano, August 1958. These are The Wonders with Tony Allen on lead. It's called Be My Love, Be My Love. This is for Joe. Hear that?
Be my love,
be my love,
be my love,
for the rest of my life, be my one and only love,
one and only love,
and I'll always be true. If you leave, how I cry my eyes out for you, and my nights would be so lonely, just thinking of you. If you should need me, just call my name, darling. I love you. No words can explain. Be my love, be my love,
be my love,
for the rest of my one and only love,
one and only love,
and I'll always be true,
always be true.
Wow, by request for Joe Shacatano. What a great tune there for the Wonders. Tony Allen and the Wonders featured it, I think, on the first. It's the first label. Tampa Forward Records is the first label. August 1958. Be My Love, Be My Love. Also have it on the Tampa label with the same stampers, same delta triangle, same number. So anyway, that is. That is a cool record. Thanks for requesting that, Joe. Let's continue now. Let's up next a request for listener Nick Nicola as we go to Bob Shad's Warner record label out of New York City. Have no info on the group, though. They're called the Big Tops, but what really caught Johnny G's eye on this is I saw the writer credit as Kirkland, and that is band leader Leroy Kirkland. I think he was involved in this label. He might have been part owner with Bob Shad on this, but it's definitely a cool record from January 58. This is going out to Nick Nicola. Give a listen to the Big Tops on the Warner label. It's called I'm in Love.
You know that I love you so much. You know that I thrill to your touch. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. Oh yes, with you. You went away. You broke my heart in two. You went away. I'm all alone and blue. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. Oh yes, with you. So much, you know that I thrill to your touch. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. Oh yes, with you.
Great tune there out of New York City. They're called the Big Tops. By request for Nick Nicola, January 58 release. I'm in Love is the name of that one on the Warner record label. We stay in New York City this time on a label called Crosstown Records. This is a request for Robert Castillo. The group is called Kenny and the Socialites. Have no info on this group either. The tune is written by George Koppel, and the orchestra is directed by Joe Renee. So this is going out to Robert from 1958. Give a listen to Kenny and the Socialites on the Crosstown label. It's called I'll Have to Decide.
I had a girlfriend, and Audrey was her name, but now things aren't the same, and I'll have to decide which one will be my bride. I really loved her, the best girl a guy ever had, but now I feel pretty bad, and I'll have to decide. She couldn't go out on Saturday night, so I went to the party alone. I tried not to look at any of the girls, but I couldn't keep my eyes off of Joan. I'm sorry, but the tears won't help me now. I must be strong somehow, and I'll have to decide.
Millions of hearts have been broken this way because of jealousy. It can happen to anyone, beggar or king. I pray it won't happen to me.
That's by request. By request for Robert Castillo there, 1958. That's Kenny and the Socialites on the Crosstown record label. I'll Have to Decide is the name of the tune. Johnny G already made a decision after I retire, as I'm counting down the days. Now, I don't think my company really thinks I'm serious about this, but I am serious. That April 1st, haven't had the discussions yet, but they're going to happen because I have to let them know by the 28th of the month, and I will be calling and letting them know. So I'm planning on moving the show to 9 o'clock. So we're going to move it up an hour earlier here. We're going to cut off the back end. We're going to move it up earlier. I'll be able to do that. I have more time to prepare for the show. I mean, work takes up a lot of my time. It does, but I'm definitely looking forward to that. So let's continue here as we head to Kansas City, Missouri for this next group. They had a big hit earlier in 1958 on Thomas Robinson's Angletone record label. I know many of you are familiar with the tune Blueberry Sweet. It was a 45 that my aunt purchased back in the summer of was it this? No, it wasn't the summer. It was back in 1958. But this was their follow-up to that. This one from May of 1958. It features William Watson on lead. Give a listen to the Chandeliers. The Chandeliers on Thomas Robinson's Angletone record label. Their tune is called Dolly. That's the follow-up to Blueberry Sweet, a song entitled Dolly. That one there for the Chandeliers. Lead singer there, William Watson, on lead there, May 1958 on the Angletone record label, song entitled Dolly. Let's continue now. We are in the year 1958. We go back to the Bronx, New York, with a request for Timothy in our YouTube chat room there. This is on Jerry Winston's Newport record label. This 45 came out on a second label. It was called Unart Records. Now, I'm featuring it on its first press, Newport Records. Now, the lead singer on this is Ed Jordan. We go back to June 1958 and give a listen to the 5 Delights. These are the 5 Delights going out to Timothy in our chat room. This is on the Newport record label. It's called There'll Be No Goodbye.
I'm sure my love as far my love as stars are high, there'll be no goodbye.
going out to Timothy. Timothy in our YouTube chat room. Those are the Five Delights. Five Delights from June 1958 on the Newport record label, There'll Be No Goodbye. Also showed you the second label on the Unart record label. Ed Jordan, the lead singer on that one. Now in 1961, this group would change their name to the Moodmakers with their release on the Bambi label, which is coming up later in the program. Got to welcome in the Oldies and More Radio Network to Johnny G's Vinyl Treasure Show. Thanks for tuning in tonight on the February 20th. Well, it's actually, what is it? It's February 20th now, but really it's the February 19th, 2022 Vinyl Treasure Show. We are in the year 1958, and on the November 13th, 2021 Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured Nikki and the Nobles, played the A-side of their release on George Goldner's Gone record label. It was called School Bells, and Nikki is really Nick Delano, and the backup group are the Nobles. The Nobles, they're from New Haven, Connecticut, the same group that recorded for the Click label, if you're familiar with Poor Rock and Roll. But it was listener Daryl Letts that requested the flip, and we're getting to it now from last November. This one from August 58. It's going out to Daryl, Nikki and the Nobles on Gone Records. It's called School Day Crush. Going out to Daryl Letts, though it's Nikki and the Noble, Nick Delano on lead. From August 1958, George Goldner's Gone record label, School Day Crush. Did anybody have a school day crush? I didn't have a school day crush. I had a school crush. And I'm not going to say her name because she is a Facebook friend. Can't let Barbara know who that was. I think I told her, though. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on here. We are in the year 1958. Now, last week, I played a request for Ryan Heisey. He requested the Five Secrets. That was a group out of Staten Island, New York. I featured their 45 on the Decca label. It was actually a cover of the Cleftones' See You Next Year. That came out in June of 1957. But in 1958, they changed their name to the Loungers. And they had a cool double-sided 45 on Al Silver's Herald record label. I'm going to send this one out to George Tompkins. I heard this one on George's show, plus another 100,000 45s that he played, but this is one I definitely remember on George's show, so we'll send it out to George. November 1958, features Dave Concepcion on lead. He also wrote the tune. These are the Loungers on the Herald label. I had this the other day, though. The song is called Dizzy Spell.
I get a feeling when you whisper in my ear, when you call me my dear, I get a dizzy spell. When I leave the world behind, what I leave is all mine. I get a dizzy spell. I can understand what you have done to me. Oh, this feeling I have for you. Oh, and my misery I really do.
I wonder if you're going away.
I like the way you say that you will remain. Oh, it's a feeling no one can explain. I get a dizzy spell.
That's going out to George Tompkins there. Johnny G don't want to get a dizzy spell, that is for sure. Although I went to the ENT doctor, and they said my father's ear pressure was better than mine, which I thought was odd. But I have to go for a hearing test in 6 months, they said. Could it be from the loud music that Johnny G plays? I don't know. But those are the Loungers there. Dave Concepcion on lead there, November 1958, on Al Silver's Herald record label, song entitled Dizzy Spell. And tomorrow I'm going to a record show tomorrow it's called the Westchester Record and CD Show, and it's February 20th from 10 to 3. I'm not going to get there at 10 because I have like a brunch here in the morning, and plus I get up late because I'm up so late. So I'm up late tonight, so I'll get up later in the morning. But it's at the Westchester Marriott, which is at 670 White Plains Road in Terrytown, New York. But I'm going to be there. I went there for the last show, which was on Monday, which was odd, but they give a list of, I'm like looking here, is anybody going to have anything that I need? Because I'm not going to have the patience to look through hundreds and hundreds of, records that are hits and whatnot. I mean, I really need to go to the good stuff right away, or at least a box of the good stuff. So if anybody's going to be there or knows someone that's going to be there, that I'll bring some cash, so I'll bring my cash and checkbook, and I haven't really it's been a little bit of a while since I made a big purchase of a 45, but I'm always looking for stuff off my want list, and it always worked for me at Allentown. I had a lot of fun at the Allentown shows, but I'll be there tomorrow. So I know I was communicating with Ronnie Sherman. I may see him there. So Ronnie, if you're listening or you watch this on the archive, tomorrow you're going to be there. I'll be there probably later in the afternoon to look around there. We'll see what's cooking at that record show. But anyway, let's continue here as we head to Detroit, Michigan with a request from Mike P. This is on the Robert West Bumblebee label out of Detroit, Michigan, and Mike requested the A side of this 45. It features someone by the name of Little Joe Harris, so he's known as Little Joe, and the group backing him up are the Moroccos. This is Little Joe and the Moroccos from 1959, and you couldn't do this in school. You couldn't chew bubble gum. Even though I liked bazooka bubble gum, I was a pretty good I could blow those bubbles pretty well. But anyway, we're going to send this one out to Mike. Little Joe and the Moroccos, 1959 on Bumblebee Records. It's called Bubble Gum.
While walking down the street in my three little ones, skipping and hopping, bubble gum, bobbing. I tried to tell her that I love her, but she kept on chewing, yakking and smacking, yakking and smacking. She said to me, do you want some? I said again. She said, no, square bubble gum, bubble gum, bubble gum, bubble gum, bubble gum. I tried to tell her that I love her, but she kept on chewing bubble gum. I held her hand as we strolled through the crowd, skipping and hopping, bubble gum, bobbing. We started back home, it was getting dark, skipping and hopping, bubble gum, bobbing. Saw the ice cream man and said, do you want some? I said again. She said, no, square bubble gum, bubble gum, bubble gum, bubble gum, bubble gum. I tried to tell her that I love her, but she kept on chewing bubble gum. Starting back home, it was getting dark, skipping and hopping, bubble gum, popping. Saw the ice cream man and said, do you want some? I said again. She said, no, square bubble gum, bubble gum, bubble gum, bubble gum, bubble gum. I tried to tell her that I love her, but she kept on chewing bubble gum, bubble gum.
That's 1959 there for Little Joe and the Moroccos on the Bumblebee record label. It's going out to Mike. Bubble Gum is the name of the tune. I haven't chewed much bubble. I mean, if I Orbit, maybe. Barbara bought me a big thing of Orbit gum. I mean, there's like 100 things in there, and I think one of them was bubblegum, but I don't like the sugar-free. I like the real bubblegum. Anyway, Johnny G here, chewing bubblegum as we continue. Here we are in 1959. Let's go to this next group from Charleston, West Virginia, and it's a request for listener Joe Shacatano. It's their lone release that came out on Glenn McKinney's Nauvoo record label out of West Portsmouth, Ohio, and the tune written by the lead singer. His name is Ron Brooks. So we're going to send this one out to Joe Chacatano, July 1959. Give a listen to the Jades on Nauvoo Records. It's called Walking All Alone.
Walking all alone, yes, I'm walking all alone. I'm walking all alone, wondering where you are, looking up above, searching for a star. my darling, my darling, I'm still in love with you. In love with you. Well, how can I forget you when you're still in my dreams? I guess I'll always love you forever, it seems. My darling, I'm still in love with you. In love with you. Love is like a dream come true. Everything seems so real. But when the dream is over, oh, how I feel. Oh, now I realize our romance is through. Tears fill my eyes as I think of you, my darling, I'm still in love with you. Walking, walking, walking
July 1959, released there for a group called the Jades. They're out of Charleston, West Virginia. That's a request for Joe Shakatana. Walking All Alone is the name of the tune. Nauvoo Records, NAU-VOO Records for that one. And we are still in 1959 for this next singer. He was born in Texas originally, but he ended up moving to Lawndale, California. And in 1958, his first release came out on the Challenge label. Then he signed with Capitol Records for 3 releases. And this is a request for listener Cheryl Morgan. She requested his second release. His real name is Kenneth Albert Louranger, but he recorded as Kenny Lourand. Kenny Lourand. So this is going out to Cheryl Morgan, September 59. Kenny Lourand on Capitol. The tune is called Magic Star.
Shining in the heavens bright, oh
As going out to Cheryl Morgan there. That's Kenny Lourand and group there, doo-wop there from September 1959. That's on the Capitol record label. Magic Star is the name of the tune. Hopefully you're hearing the magic tonight on all these cool tunes. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, if you have a request, those of you listening on Oldies and More Radio and also on the YouTube, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Let's continue. Here we are in 1959. Now, earlier in the show, I featured the Vibra Harps on the Beach record label. The song was called Cozy with Rosie. That was a request for Joe. Now, the bass of the group, his name was Charles Hargrove, and he also had a solo release that came out on the Dab label. Now, Dab Records, also out of Buffalo, New York. It was owned by Bobby Fonville and Ralph Hernandez, who wrote both sides of that Beach 45 we heard earlier, and also wrote this tune. Now, this song here was recorded at that same session of the Vibra Harps. It's just that the bass of the group, Charles Hargrove, he just did the lead, and the group is backing him up on this. So this is for George Tompkins. This is a request for George. This charted number 18 on WBNY out of Buffalo, New York. We go to February 1959. Give a listen to Charles Hargrove and an uncredited Vibra Harps backing him up on the Dab label, DAB Records. The song is called Baby, Oh Baby. As going out to George Tompkins there, February 59, release for Charles Hargrove on the Dab record label, song entitled Baby, Oh Baby. Now, this is an unscheduled play. I knew I had it in the box there, but a couple years later, couple years later, or maybe 3 years later, I don't know, this is 62 or 63, a gal recorded that song. Her name is Elsie Strong. I know maybe some of you know this tune in the chat room there, and also listening on Oldies and More Radio. This gal by the name of Elsie Strong also recorded that tune, so I figured let's give it a spin here. This came out on the Hit Time label. This is also a label up in Buffalo, New York. This is Elsie Strong version of that song we just heard by Charles Hargrove. This is a female version of the tune. It's called Baby Oh Baby. Let's give it a whirl here. Sounds like a first for some of you there in the YouTube chat room, but this one here, it's a cover song, and it was done by Elsie Strong. Elsie Strong on the Hit Time record label. That is the ace. I sounded like Charles Hargrove. He was the bass on there too, by the way. Now, the lowdown on this record is in a book. It was funny because I posted that Net Roman record on YouTube one day, and somebody commented, someone by the name of his last name, I forget his first name. Yeah, his name is Bob Zuski, Skurzewsky, and he put together this book called No Stoppin' This Bop, and he wrote this book a while back, very interesting about the music scene in Buffalo, and he talks about the Vibra Harps. He talks about that big radio station in Buffalo. He talks about this song. He talks about the Sahara label, because he saw that Net Roman record that I posted on Facebook, and he mentioned something to me about a book, and I said, is it available? And he gave me a CD with other songs. It's actually pretty cool. And I know he was in the process of moving. It's been a while, but I told him that I would feature that Sahara record. Actually, I got the flip side up for tonight. But it's a book called No Stoppin' This Boppin'. It's called Let the Good Times Roll. It's by Bob and Terry Skuzerski out of Buffalo, New York. So maybe you can check it out if he's I think it's have his email. If you want his email, please contact me, and it wasn't that much. I think it was $20 or $15 for the book. It was definitely worth it. But anyway, I just threw that in. That is a bonus track for tonight. But let's continue now. And up next is a group from Belmar, New Jersey. Now, Al Brown involved with this group. This is their debut single that came out on the Cecilia label. It was written by group member Tom Picardo, and it features Tim Hauser on lead. And this is a request. This is one of your requests, Ryan Heisey, in our YouTube chat room. This is from September 59. These are the Criterions on Cecilia Records. Tim Hauser, he's the lead singer. Of course, Tim Hauser later on formed a group called the Manhattan Transfer, would sing all those cool 50s and kind of big band sounds. And he used to communicate with me on emails. I have AOL emails. Then he passed away, unfortunately. It was he passed away suddenly. Very sad that he passed away. But prior to being with the Manhattan Transfer, he was with this group called the Criterions. This is from September 59, the Criterions, going out to Ryan Heisey. It's called Don't Say Goodbye.
Don't say goodbye, my love. Don't make me cry, my love. Don't leave me all alone. Don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. Don't ever go away. Don't ever go astray. Be in my arms to stay. Don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye, my love. You told me you'd always be true. I said I'd be faithful to you. Oh, I want you only here. Listen to this plea, my dear. So please stay here with me. I'll never set you free. Through all eternity. Don't say goodbye. 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 Oh, please don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye. Don't say goodbye.
As by request for Ryan Heisey there, the Criterions, September 1959, and Tim Hauser, he is on lead there. Don't Say Goodbye is the name of the tune on the Cecilia record label. Also came out, I have it also on the Yellow label. My copy's Styrene, and it's got like Cecilia like sideways. So I didn't know which one was first. And this copy I purchased in Montvale, New York. Somebody showed up there, and the girl's name on all the records was Jan. And the guy told me that this collection, the collection that was there, of course, got like fourth dibs on it, that it was Alan Freed's secretary. Her name was Jan something, I forget, and that was her record. And that was actually a record that Alan Freed did play on his radio show. And if you looked at that back on the Unart record, that was also from that load. She had her boyfriend's name on there and a little square sticker, but the girl's name is Jan. I got a bunch of her records in my collection. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on here. We are in the year 1959. We go back to Los Angeles, California with a request for Joe Shacatano. This is on the Magnet record label. The song written by group member Jimmy Batten. Jimmy Batten, who I think is the lead singer on this. This is from 1959. They're called the Mar-vells or the Mar-vells. It's two L's, Marvells, the Mar-vells on the Magnet label by request for Joe Shacatano. It's called Did She Leave You?
Did she leave you? Leave? Oh yes, she left me. Did she leave? Oh yes, she left me. What was the reason? Didn't do no reason. That was the reason. Yeah. Where did she go? Leave? I wish I knew. I wish I knew. If you know, please tell me so. I'd like to know. I remember the times we were so happy and gay, but until that sad day, I realized why she went away. That's not for me to say. Did she leave you? Oh yes, she left me. Did she leave you? Oh yes, she left me. What was the reason? Didn't do no reason. That was the reason. Where did she go? I wish I knew. Where did she go? I wish I knew. If you know, please tell me so. I'd like to know.
Bubbles and the Dead Wax there by request for Joe Shacatano, the sound of California here on the Vinyl Treasure Show 1959, the Mar-vells on Magnet Records. Did She Leave You is the name of the two. Now with their next two releases, H.B. Barnum, he was a young producer at the time, produced their next two records. Their first one, I think, came out on the Munrab label, which I don't have. I don't have that one, but I do have their second release that came out on Rowan Records. They were known as the Deltones on that 45, and that was another rare 45, which I haven't played that in a while. I should pull that one out. What is it? What is it? Burning? What is the song on there that I'm losing my mind by the Deltones on Rowan? Anyway, let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. Now, last week I featured the Uniques on World Pacific. It was a request for listener Emnon. The song was called "I Cross My Fingers," and I like the flip side of this 45. Now, this is the interesting thing. The writer on this side is Willie Crowley. Now, Willie Crowley was a member of the the Belvederes. I think they were also known as the Dusters. They're out of Chicago, so I'm wondering if this is really a Chicago group on a West Coast label. So we had it the other way. Doesn't mean it can't go the reverse way with the Argyles on Bally. This could be a Chicago group on a West Coast label. But anyway, this is from September 59. These are the Uniques on World Pacific. It's called That's Love.
That's love. That's love. That wonderful feeling. That's love. That's love. That soothes your heart reeling. That's love. That's love. Oh, what you do to me. Really is love. That's love. That wonderful feeling, that's love. That's love. That sends your heart reeling, that's love. That's love. Oh, what you do to me. Tell me, my darling.
Good tune there. Those are the Uniques. The only thing wrong with that record is on styrene. That's the only thing that's wrong with that record. World Pacific label there, September 59. They're called the Uniques. That's Love is the name of that one. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. And here's a request for Mike. This 45 is really an answer to the Silhouettes' Get a Job. Now, originals were pressed in 1958, but Slim of Times Square Records was able to resurrect this song in 1961, and he repressed it. He repressed this on Lo-Fi Records, and I think it came out on red vinyl, if I'm not mistaken, when he put it out with wavy lines. But the first press is the straight lines. Leo Rogers' Lo-Fi record label for this. This is a request for Mike P. This one from 1958, The Mistakes, on the Lo-Fi record label. It's called I Got Fired.
Wake up in the
Wake up, little boy, won't you get off of me?
All you gotta do is go get a job if you don't get a job. Johnny Mar, Johnny Mar, Joe.
That's going out to Mike. So Mike says his copy is muddy, although he played it. I think he said that he had Louis Silvani play it on his set, and it sounded okay. So it could be the needle. I don't know. That's a little tingy there on that sound. It's not quite mint. It's a little bit played there. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know if the red wax reeds are first presses or not. I can't tell you that. I know this is a first press on the black wax. I don't know much about the red wax things. When I read, they were pressed in 1961. So I don't know. But those are the mistakes going out to Mike. I Got Fired, that one there on the Lo-Fi record label. Well, I ain't getting fired on April 1st. Hopefully Johnny G just retiring on that day. But let's continue here. We move into 1960 now with a rare 45 out of Washington, D.C. This is a request for Nick Nicola. It's on John Dickerson's Win record label. Now, this group is called the Gales. They were also a few groups using that name. Earlier groups on Detroit, I think on the JVB label comes to mind, but these guys were from Washington, D.C., and they would join another group that recorded on the Win label, Mar-vells, I think, on this label. The Senators also recorded on this label, but these are the Gales. This is going out to Nick Nicola. It features James Isom on lead, I-S-O-M. He's the lead singer. This is July 1960, the Gales on Win, and going out to Nick. This is a rare 45. It's called I Love You. These are the Gales.
That's what you are. Say you can if you dare, and I'll love you will share, girl of my dream, the one I adore. Down the lonely, lonely road, I'll be broken heart. That's where most lovers go, yeah. But if this love is real, deep love within, we'll never have to fight. I love you, honest I do, really and true, really and true. You're my guiding star. That's what you are.
Those are the Gales going out to Nick Nicola from July 1960 on the Win record label, WINN. I Love You is the name of the tune. I think that lead singer is the same lead singer on the Mar-vells that do For Sentimental Reasons. That's a great record. Their version of that on the Win record label. Johnny G here on a Saturday evening. Those of you tuned in to the from Oldies and More Radio and also on YouTube, thank you all for tuning in. We're going to continue here. Here's a request for George Tompkins. Actually, we're going to play the first two cuts consecutively on this one. And this is off of an EP. This is the label's called Audio Lab. The label's out of Cincinnati, Ohio, which is a budget label. It was owned by Sid Nathan. Sid Nathan, who owned King, Federal, and Deluxe. This was his budget label. No cover came with this EP, and all four sides are really good. All four tracks recorded September 27th of 1959, but according to Ferdy's disco file, they were released in March of 1960. So let's give a listen to track one. Side one, the first two tracks for a group called the Incredible Upsetters. Now, first up is a song called Baby I'm Your Man, and then the next one is called Only a Dream. I think Only a Dream, they steal the song. It sounds like they stole a song from the Counts that recorded for Dot, if my memory holds right. But anyway, this is going out to George Tompkins' March 1960 release. These are the Incredible Upsetters. Up first is Baby I'm Your Man, and it's followed up by Only a Dream. This is on the Audio Lab EP for George.
Baby, won't you hold me in your arms? Won't you hold me in your heart? Won't you hold me tight? Well, I love you, baby, and I won't let you go. I'm gonna love you, baby. I'm gonna hold you oh so tight. I'm gonna love you, baby. I'm gonna hold you with all my might. 'Cause I love you so. Oh, baby, tell me why. I love you so. Well, I love you, baby, and I won't let you go. I'm gonna love you, baby. I'm gonna hold you oh so tight. I'm gonna love you, baby. I'm gonna love you on my mind. 'Cause I love you so.
I kissed your sweet lips, and then everything was alright. I'll always remember these moments the way they seem. But darling, it was only a dream. Oh darling, if this dream would ever come true, I couldn't ever love anyone but you. I'd be the happiest man in the field of romance if this dream would only come true. You kissed me so tenderly and you began to smile. Your face was so beautiful and humble like a child. You said to me that no one would ever come between. But darling, it was only a
As by request for George Tompkins there, those are the Incredible Upsetters. Gotta say, they're out of Cincinnati, Ohio. It's on Sid Nathan's Audio Lab EP. It's actually a budget EP. And Charlie LaRocco says there's a bunch of gospel stuff on that Audio Lab. That's interesting. This one here from March 1960, the Incredible Upsetters going out to George. The first cut was called Baby, I'm Your Man. Followed up with that killer ballad, Only a Dream. Stay tuned for the flip sides next Saturday night right here on the Vinyltreasure Show. We continue now. We are in 1960. We go to Upper Darby, Pennsylvania for this next group. It's a request for Ryan Heisey. They had this lone release here on the Franzel record label, and the tune written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Edward J. Finn, but on the 45 he's known as Farrell. So this is by request for Ryan Heisey, Farrell and the Flames, from April 1960 on the Franzel record label. These don't have great fidelities for some reason. I don't know what it is, the press or whatever, but let's give it a spin here for Ryan. Farrell and the Flames. It's called Dreams and Memories.
I know now that
That's by request for Ryan Heisey, Farrell and the Flames, April 1960. On the Franzel record label, Dreams and Memories is the name of the tune. That's what Johnny G brings to you every Saturday from 10 to 1 a.m. We are now in Vinyltreasure Overtime. I'm going to try to get through these requests really quick as we continue here. We go back to Chicago, Illinois for this next group. This is on Armand Jump Jackson's LaSalle record label out of Chicago. It's a request for Amnon. Now, the lead singer of this group is none other than Solly McElroy. Solly McElroy, the lead singer. Of course, he sang with the Flamingos first, then he sang with the Moroccos that recorded for the United label in 1955. He went on to have some cool soul records, solo soul records. I forget the label. It's like an aqua blue label that I have it on. It'll Jawiz, maybe, I think, possibly. But anyway, he is doing lead here with this group called the Chanteurs, Schaunteurs, and it's with King Kolax and his band, and I think they also have another on the VJ label in 1963. But and I think some members of this group went on to record with the Socialites. But anyway, this is for Amnon, April 61, the Chanteurs on LaSalle Records. It's called Wishin' Well.
Once in the faraway land, a land of golden dreams, oh, I was standing by, wishing well, you came by and cast a spell. Once in the faraway land, a land of golden dreams, all the birds started singing, the bells started ringing, our lips started burning, and our hearts started yearning, 'cause you came by and cast a spell. Don't you know, baby? Don't you know, don't you got to know? Don't you know, you came by and cast a spell. Stop burning and our hearts won't stop yearning, 'cause you came by and cast a spell. Don't you know, baby? Don't you know, don't you know, don't you know, don't you know, yes, you came by and cast a spell. Don't you know, don't you know, pretty baby? Don't you know, oh, you my pretty baby? Don't you know, don't you know, don't you know, you came by and cast a spell. Don't you know?
That's for Amnon, a request for Amnon there by the Chanteurs, if I said that right. That's Solly McElroy, his soulful sound for Solly McElroy, April 1961 on LaSalle Records out of Chicago, Illinois. Wishin' Well is the name of the tune. We stay in Chicago with a pretty rare 45. I'm kind of confused on the release date of this because all the books say this record is from 1961. It definitely sounds earlier than that. That is my opinion, but I can't confirm this, but it's a request for George Tompkins. Now, the label is called Unique Laboratories, and Unique Laboratories is owned by Val Hutchinson, and this is associated with the Theron record label. Mar-vells on Theron. That's a great record, too. I have that 45, but for some reason, this doesn't sound like a 1961 record, but the group is called the Valves, and the lead singer on this is Billy Gibson. Billy Gibson on lead, so what it says, 61, but you can be the judge. This is for George. The Valves on Unique Laboratories. It's called The Song of a Lover.
The dawn is
breaking, whoa, 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 whoa,
through the heaven above. The tears are falling, falling from the face of my love. For the love I have in my heart is just for you, and that is why it's the song of a lover, and his last goodbye. For she knows we are parting, parting, and this is our last kiss. We're beneath the stars, dear, stars, dear, and it's heavenly bliss. For the love I have in my heart is just for you, and that is why it's the song of a lover, and his last good.
That's going out to George Tompkins there. Very rare 45, a great tune. I agree with you, Reed. I think that was sitting in the can there, and they released it in 1961. I mean, at least that's what some of the books say. I'm not sure, but Billy Gibson on lead, the Valves there, 1961. We'll call it The Song of the Lover. Unique Laboratories is the name of that one. And of course, they would also back up, I think Nick mentioned it in the YouTube chat room, Vicki Johnson. There's another release on the Unique Laboratories label, which I have. I have actually a stock copy, which is kind of like pinkish. It's a pinkish label, and I also have like this kind of eggshell white label for the promo, I guess. I don't know. We'll get it on a future Vinyl Treasure show. Let's continue here. We're going to quickly get these in, as up next is a request for Timothy. Now, Timothy, I think you requested this one. At least this is what Charlene tells me what she had, because Charlene reads the chat room and she copies down the requests. So she, and earlier in the show, we heard, actually this wanted to hear this group from let's start her over again. Timothy wanted to hear this group from the Bronx, New York, called the Mood Makers, which evolved from a group known as the Five Delights that we heard earlier in the show on the Newport record label, There'll Be No Goodbye. And they also have a great record on the Able label. That's another good one that they do. But they later on recorded as the Mood Makers, and it's the same lead. Ed Jordan is the lead singer, and this is by request for Timothy. This is on Morty Craft's Bambi record label. This is the B-side. This is the ballad side. Dolores is a I think it's Dolores. Yeah, it's a cool up tempo. But the flip side is a killer ballad. May 1961 by request for Timothy. The Mood Makers on Bambi. It's called Dream a Dream. May 1961, that's a request for Timothy, the Moodmakers. Ed Jordan and the Moonmakers on the Bambi record label, Dream a Dream. What a great tune that is. So stay tuned for the flip side next week here on the Vinyltreasure Show. We are in 1961. We continue here. Here's a girl group sound, a request for listener Emnon. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, but prior to being Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, the group recorded as the Delphis on the Checkmate record label. The group consisted of Gloria Williams, Rosalind Ashford, Annette Sterling, and the lead singer Martha Reeves. So here they are on Checkmate Records by request for Emnon, October 61, the Delphis, aka Martha and the Vandellas on Checkmate. It's called I'll Let You Know. This is for Emnon.
Strung me along. When you left me all alone. Now you want me back for your very own. But I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
So Rita, I thought Martha, it sounded like her in the at least in the beginning. I was trying to listen to her voice there, so it's got to be one of these other gals. It's either Gloria Williams or Rosalind Ashford or Annette Sterling, if it's not Martha Reeves. I thought it sounded like her, at least in the beginning. Later on, though, maybe not so. But anyway, that's for Amnon. The Delphis there. This group included Martha Reeves. I think a couple of those girls also were in the Vandellas. October 61 on the Checkmate record label, I'll Let You Know is the name of the tune. We continue. We stay in 1961 with a cover tune. This is on Artie Singer's Twist record label as we head back to Philadelphia now. And it's a request for Nick Nicola. This group is called the Duprees, D-A-P-R-E-E-S. And they are doing a cover of a Danny and the Juniors tune. Actually, the flip side of At the Hop was a song called Sometimes parentheses When I'm All Alone. So this is from 1961. Give a listen to the Duprees on Twist Records. This is going out to Nick. The Duprees with their rendition of the tune Sometimes.
Sometimes when I'm all alone, feeling kinda low, you come around to cheer me up because you love me so. You know I'll be true no matter what you do. Please, darling, say you love me too. Sometimes when we're on a date, I tell myself beware. Your folks object if we're out late, but I don't even care. I really want you for my wife. I truly need you all my life. Please, darling, don't leave me in despair. You know how I feel about you, darling.
Cover tunes here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's by request for Nick Nicola. Nice cover there for the Duprees, 1961. It's on the Twist label, Artie Singer's Twist label. Sometimes parentheses When I'm All Alone. We're going to continue here, and we're going to back out to California here. This is a great record. I like this tune by this quartet called the Thorables. It's a request for Robert Castillo. He requested this cool tune by the Thorables. They are a combination of the groups Cadets slash Jacks and the Rocketeers. They recorded 2 on Titanic. This is their first, and it features Willie Davis on lead from late 1962. The Thorables on Titanic. It's called Our Love Song for Robert.
This is our love song. Whoa, our love song. Whoa, it means so much to me. I love you, can't you see? our ears. We've heard it for years. This is our love song. Remember the promise you made. You said we would never part. So let's forgive, darling, let's forget, and let's make a new start. This is our love song. Whoa, our love song. Whoa, we've heard it in our ears. We've heard it for years. This is our love song.
Sound of California here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. It's going out to Robert. Late 62, Willie Davis and the Thorables there on Titanic Records, Our Love Song. Their other record is great too, which I will have to play again here on the program. Let's continue now. I had this sitting in the box actually to play for a while, but it was Nick Nicola that beat me to the punch because he requested this record. Now, the lead singer of this group, he's from Bayonne, New Jersey. He was previously a member of a group called The Temptations that recorded for Herman Lubinsky's Savoy record label back in 1958. Now, his name is Billy Lee Lukebeck. Billy Lee Lukebeck was his name, but he was also the lead singer of this group. He formed them. They're called the Fun Addicts. The Fun Addicts, and they have this lone release that came out on the Versailles record label. We go back to May of 1962. These are the Fun Addicts. The Fun Addicts on Versailles, and it was requested by Nick. It features Billy Lee Lukebeck on lead, and the song is called Wise Guy.
Wise guy, that's me. I have fooled around, but I couldn't see a girl who loved me so tenderly. A pretty girl named Marie. Whoa. My friends would tell me, just wait and see the way you're acting so foolishly. You'll lose a girl named Marie. She told me she loved me when we were I laughed when
May 1962 there for the Fun Addicts by request for Nick Nicola. Versal's record song entitled Wise Guy. 4:45's to go before we sign off here on the Vinyltreasure Show. Now, last week I played a request for Ronnie Sherman by Nett Roman on the Sahara record label out of Buffalo, New York. The song was called Tears from My Eyes. And it was Daryl Letts that asked Johnny G to flip the 45 over before we filed it back down in the no humidity basement. This one from June 1963. Let's give a listen to Nett Roman on this one. Also came out as Nap Roman. What did I say? Nip Roman? No, but it's mine says N-E-T, Nett Roman. That's got to be a mistake. But anyway, Nett Roman here on the Sahara record label. This is for Daryl. It's called This Is the Night.
You're gonna be my bride. This is the night.
Last week we featured the flip side called, the flip side was called, did I write it down here? Yes, Tears from My Eyes, a killer ballad. That was the jump side. This is the night. Going out to Daryl, June 1963, Nett Roman on my copy on the Sahara record label. Up next, a group from Paterson, New Jersey. Their first release came out with their first release in 1961. They were known as the Dynamic Del Airs on a label called Block Record, on the Block label. Then they did 3 for the Coral record label, and I think all 3 sides were performed in a 1964 horror movie. Do any of you out there remember a horror movie by the name of The Horror of Party Beach? Anyway, but this is a request for Joe Shacatano, and this is their 3rd release, written by the lead singer of the group. His name is Ronnie Linares, or Linares, Linares. This is from July 64. These are the Del Airs. The Del Airs going out to Joe Shacatano on Coral Records, and I think this was the gal's name in the movie, that's a Horror of Party Beach. It's a song called Arlene. This is for Joe.
Arlene, she's my dream, Arlene, she's everything. I've got a little girl
She's everything. We walk along together hand in hand. I know that she's my girl and I'm her lover man. Arlene, she's my dream. Arlene, she's everything. There'll come a time when she'll be mine forever and ever to find. She'll give me her hand, I'll give her a wedding band. We'll never know a broken heart. Arlene, she's my dream. Arlene, she's everything. Till that happy day when we are one, we'll just go steady together having fun. Arlene, she's my dream. Arlene, she's everything to me.
As Barraquez for Joe Shacatano there, those are the Delaires. July 1964 release. That's their third release for the choral label Arlene from the movie The Horror of Party Beach. Two more 45s to go before we sign off here. Here's one for Cheryl Morgan. This lead singer here, he used to sing lead with a group called the Five Wings, recorded for King Records back in 1955. Of course, he's known for his release from 1960 on the Fury label, Valerie, where he cries in that one. I don't think there's crying in this one, but this is a request for Cheryl Morgan talking about Jackie and the Starlights. This is from May 63. This is on the Mascot record label. Jackie LaRue, he's on lead. This is Jackie and the Starlights for Cheryl. It's called I'll Burn Your Letters for Cheryl.
Shirt that you sent me, and if any of that don't approve, that I don't love you. Talking about I'll burn your letters. Talking about I'll burn your letters. I'll tear up the picture that you sent me. Tell you not to knock on my door, and if any of that don't approve, that I don't love you. Talking about I'll burn your letters. Talking about I'll burn your the street, across to the other side. I wouldn't even walk by you, I wouldn't even give you the eye. And if any of that don't approve, that I don't love you. I'll burn your letters. Talking about
That's by request for Cheryl Morgan there. That's Jackie and the Starlights. Jackie LaRue, that's one of the songs. He wasn't crying on that song. That was interesting there. May 1963 on the Mascot record label, I'll Burn Your Letters. I will not burn your letters. You can send your letters to Johnny G at vinyltreasures at AOL.com. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. Hope you dug all the cool music tonight that I out of my collection, and really thank you all for all your requests. If you have requests, you can send them to me at vinyltreasures at AOL.com. And this recording this on the YouTube, it'll be up probably momentarily. My video was, well, my Monday night video, the Monday night show was banned in UK because of one record. I played a song by Debbie Doval, Hey Lover, from 1963, and they said because of that record, they wouldn't be aired. The show wouldn't be aired in the UK, which I thought was pretty rotten of them, because not that was a big hit, but I thought that was crappy by them. And I've been lucky, at least here for my 50's show, that they haven't banned the video, like they just block it for some song. I mean, I don't care about the monetization issue of it. I just don't want them to block the show for people that they can't go back and watch it later, because a lot of people, they go to bed early, etc., so they go back and watch it later on when they feel like it, or put it on in the background. That's kind of bad. But anyway, if it's never posted up there, you can always go to vinyltreasures.net, because you can stream it there or download it. I have a link, I think. They won't let me change a lot of the lingo. I got to get that other crappy station off there, but I can't really change it yet, and I'm not going to change it around until I retire when I have more time. But there's a link there where you can go and get a bunch of the shows that go back maybe 5 years or so. But anyway, if not, you can come right here on YouTube. But tell your friends about it. I just got my progress report from YouTube. It's like 90,000 hours of view. Some crazy number there. They were really happy. Like I picked up another 40 subscribers or so. So thank you all. To tell your friends, the show is expanding leaps and bounds. And again, I think I'm the only one that really does it this way. And it's a lot of fun for me. And like I said, I enjoy doing it. It just takes me a while to put it together. As you know, it's a labor of love. And I really do appreciate all of you that do stick around for the entire show, as I really am touched by that. So thank you all, even for all your requests, etc. So that's going to do it for tonight. So I hope you enjoyed all the tunes, and we're going to close the show tonight. Didn't hear from my number one California listener, Mady Campo, but I know she'll like this record, and maybe you'll like it too, Ryan Heisey. But this group is out of Detroit. They were discovered by Harry Balk, and he was the owner of the label, which is Twirl Records. And it's the group's first of two for Twirl. The members were two sisters. They were Angela and Lisa Palmia, along with Patty Mascalgia, and collectively they were known as the Young Sisters. And this was their first record. Actually, it was the B-side, because Casanova Brown, I think that was the one that was played, but I like the ballad here. The closer is from August 62 on Twirl Records, The Young Sisters with My Guy. So that's our closer tonight. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I'm off on Monday, President's Day, so I'm going to go for lunch with Barbara. I'll be able to put together my 60's show for Monday night. That's when I'll be back on the radio Monday night at 8 o'clock, 8 to 11 o'clock, right here on Oldies and More Radio, and also on YouTube. I'll be back next Saturday again with a bunch of your flip sides and a bunch of your requests. Thank you again, Charlene, for all your help. Want everybody to have a safe and happy week. Be safe out there, and I will see you right here on YouTube and Oldies and More Radio next Saturday night. Just want to say, everybody, so long, the Young Sisters.
Soon you'll be leaving, you're going away, but before you leave me, there's something I want to say.
Okay, folks, that does it there. I like that record. I do. It's got a cool sound to it. I think it does. A nice ballad sound. That definitely is a matey record. And Ryan, you know it. Young Sisters there, my guy. It's not an expensive record. You can get it like for $10 possibly. You can. So that's a great tune there. So thank you all again for tuning in tonight. And like I said, I'll be back next Saturday night. And I got my records pulled out for Monday. I'm going to go to the record show tomorrow. Maybe I'll find something. Maybe somebody will show up there and show me one of their rare boxes of records. But I'll bring some cash with me and my checks. My checks are good. I know a lot of the dealers, they say, I'll take a check from, some of the guys want to deal in cash. I don't know why. But I remember one time I made some big purchases. They would actually accompany me to the bank. So I'd have to meet Greg or whoever, and I'd have to go to my bank, and I'm like, can you give me $10,000 out of the bank? And I would hand it to them right there. It's like crazy. Anyway, it's a very expensive hobby. You really shouldn't do it for investing, although if you purchase stuff early enough. So and again, I was like on the cuff, so I got a lot of things that were much cheaper, and I lucked out on some things, but can't really do it for investing. Maybe you could, I don't know. Maybe some of those funk records that I have are worth some bucks now, and maybe I would sell some of those if I needed to sell. But I'm not really selling yet. I will soon because I have a lot of doubles and triples and whatnot, and this might be a good forum to sell. You never know. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight again, and thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. I couldn't do the show without Charlene. So everybody be safe, be well, and Jerry, if you're watching this, I hope you're okay. Let me know if you're not feeling well. I hope you didn't catch COVID, but let me know if that's the case. I have helped people with COVID. I have. But anyway, take care, everybody. I will see you next Saturday night. If not, I'll see some of you this coming Monday evening at 8 o'clock. Bye-bye, everyone.